mean, not my DPS. Wait, DPI.
DPS.
Yeah, on the mouse is DPI. Yeah, so totally trying to increase my DPS. Watch me shoot your rounds in less than a second.
Jesus Christ. What are you using, a minigun?
Just imagine that. Bam! Reloading!
That'd be terrifying. Honestly.
After one engagement, I need more ammo.
Fucking it. I need more ammo. What happened? I ran out of
T4
ammo. How many people
API
did you
version
kill?
doesn't match server.
Fucking me right now, 501st? Because I see that you're fucking me right now. Pipe was closed by Motherfuckers, dude.
Are you using Steam or downloaded stuff? Because I have all the 501st stuff on Steam.
Fucking.
That's how I separated too. Armor 3 is all downloaded from Armorholic or wherever the fuck else.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that though. Your Steam can...
Oh, I don't think your T-FAR is enabled.
Oh, it's not. Alright.
I have 10 mags that I dropped in enemies. Each one of my enemies has about 30 rounds implanted in them.
God damn.
Well, I'll give you 5 and then just keep trying and listen in. Cause
Okay.
it's just gonna be a lot of talking to start anyway.
I thought they would have also fixed the uniform. Well, the new uniform.
What do you mean?
Colors.
Colored patch.
Don't wear
And
colors.
gloves.
Don't wear colors in combat.
Yeah, I like the form. I just don't like the colored flag, which is not a thing, and then the no gloves thing, which is just a pet peeve for me because I wear gloves all the time.
Yeah, I like
when
the
I'm
no gloves, so that way I could put on rubber gloves every time I treat somebody.
Well, the color flag...
No colors in combat. That's not a thing.
The
What,
flag...
no colored flags? Yeah, it's always subdued.
At least for the army, it's... You have colors in garrison, because my uniform has colors on it.
Oh yeah, I know you have colors in garrison, but once you go overseas, it
becomes this. What's on
the
the
black and white.
Well, not black and white. It's usually like tan and darker tan.
My dad has black and white patches on his.
Probably like IR or whatever.
I was gonna say the black and whites are ours.
They're also bigger.
Oh yeah.
Usually they try to avoid black and white because nothing in nature is black and white.
Yeah.
Well, my dad says that his are like you could pick them up on IR or something.
Yeah, they're IR flags.
They're the IR flags.
Yeah.
They would like reflect with the IR light hits them. Like a reflector.
So like if you have night vision on.
Yep.
He still has his from his, I think it's either from his first tour or second tour, but he showed it to me one day because he was on a rant, and then he goes, "Look at this. You see that? That's a fucking bullet hole." I was like, okay, Dad.
Are we allowed to use the 200 round for the ARs?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
You're not using the 200 rounds?
Wait.
What?
The fuck?
They made me do the...
Oh yeah, they
100
make you
rounds.
force you to do 100 rounds.
Yeah, I would regularly
I've
get
always
200
done
rounds.
But
pieces of
since you
shit.
passed your test, you're allowed to use the 200 rounds.
Yeah. Grab those 200 round fucking soft bags or whatever they're called. I don't know.
Yeah, I would
Back in my
recommend
day, I had to haul
those. Those are
boxes,
some
and
lighter
fuckers were
too.
heavy and
And I was still laying down the hate.
Yeah, I'm carrying a 200 round soft pack.
bro, I was straight deadly with a saw.
Oh man, put me on a corner, write down an MSR, holy shit.
You see, I've heard mixed things about the saw.
Don't
I was
you,
on
don't you knock my
IRL.
saw, Hudson. I will kick you off that 19 tonight.
Oh.
It's not me, it's my dad. Shit.
Okay, IR,
My God.
IRL, saws, they're hit or
Like,
miss because...
Here's how it was explained to me. So my dad was coming home from a training that they had in California, and they're all getting off the bus. They all have their weapons and stuff. And one of the soldiers, he always come over to the house, and I see him with the saw, and my dad with the M4, but he comes up first, and I'm like, hey Sarge, how did you get the saw? And as soon as I ask that question, my dad walks by and goes, he can't shoot for shit.
Yeah, basically that's whenever you can't shoot, you just press. And also, I mean, sometimes they're pretty unreliable. They might be a bit ragged and jam a whole fucking lot. So, because I mean, a lot of times the saws that you're shooting are older than you are.
Yeah, because it's been around for a lot of effort.
Yep.
Yeah, keep trying, Cole.
Bravo, this is Vincent. Radio check on frequency
Putting in time
113.2,
now.
over.
This is
I
Bravo,
believe-
Blue Travis,
I believe in you.
Solid copy, yeah.
Alpha. 3.1 over.
Live with
So
Charlie.
Vince, are you
1.
excited for tonight?
555. Let's go.
What was that, Sergeant?
I said you excited for tonight?
Roger that.
First operation.
Go get a cherry pop.
First day is my first operation as well.
Yeah,
First
it's
training,
just
first operation?
it's just for you and me tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a
Vincent.
tame training.
It's for you
Very
and me
tame.
tonight. It's price
I
for
threw
beer.
the fucking kitchen sink at him last week, so I'll be nice this week.
No, I like
Yeah, I
the kitchen
watched,
sink. It makes us better.
Yeah, we're not fucking pussies.
I watched Dylan's thing on his channel, last
Yeah.
week's
For you too.
while training.
Yeah, it was intense.
You can ask some other people.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as mean as I can be.
Yeah. I remember I was filling in for one of your squad trainings a while ago. I was still in 1-1, and you were doing a break contact exercise like last week, and we just kept pushing in and we smoked a whole bunch of dudes, and at the end of it, you were like, you guys are some fucking badasses. This is totally break contact, but you guys kept pushing and just killed them all.
It happens.
Had we been in a better position, we could have smoked.
Well, I mean, if you'd been in a better position, it would have been a break contact drill. It would have just been kill everything.
Basically.
I do think these things do, Hudson.
Where's Price?
Dad.
He has a work. He's on some work
Yeah.
things.
He said he wouldn't be here.
No.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna bother explaining anything here because we're gonna caveat: everyone has an entrenching tool, correct? If you don't, you're wrong.
Stand by.
You're wrong by default.
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah,
I do.
ARs of all people need to have e-tools.
I do. I'm wondering if you want me carrying CLS.
Hudson CLS. That will always be a thing, Hudson CLS, and Cole is 2IC.
God, you just do not trust Hudson.
Nah, he just hates being 2IC.
That's
See,
fair.
I am the complete opposite. I would be like, nope, you're 2IC.
Besides, Cole, he wants to be leadership one day, so he needs the experience.
You want to kiss?
I was watching that freaking O6 class today. Brewer asked, do either of you ever want to step up to a leadership position? Nobody stood up. I was
Yeah.
like,
Why are you even here?
I was watching that shit, I was like, what the fuck, really?
You guys should be aspiring to be where Caldwell is. Fuck. Aspire to be where Top is.
Yeah, you're never gonna get that, but yeah, you can
I'm
Well,
aspire
yeah,
aspiring to
but-
be the captain. I will get there one day, damn it.
You see, the thing is,
Alright.
I did try. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me.
So, as I said, everyone has an entrenching tool, correct? Everyone's good? Yeah, we're not gonna bother wasting time here. Let's go to the flagpole and teleport to, I believe it's Alpha.
Alright, you heard him.
Nope, teleport to Bravo.
TP Bravo.
is some very nice grass.
I do have to agree. This is some very, very nice grass.
Make great hay.
Don't let brewers see
You know what the
stepping on it.
fuck's going on. Radio check on point 1. Over.
Leave it try to pull one.
Alright, so as I said, and if you've read the op board, and if you haven't yet, at some point between now and the operation, read it. Alright,
Can you speak up, please, Sergeant?
I hate when I do this. So, as I said, we're on the defensive tonight. If you have not read the op board yet, sometime between now and when the operation starts, read it in RNU, as you're supposed to. But the purpose of today's training is we're going to basically be covering how to actually prepare to. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I can't hear you.
Alright, can you hear me now?
Barely.
kinda,
What the
barely.
fuck is up with this shit?
There, that
Is
got
it-
louder when you touched your mic.
Alright, now?
There you go.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Probably have a loose wire or something. Alright, anyway, so we're on the defensive tonight, and if you haven't read the op board yet, read it between now and when the operation starts, and RNU, as you're supposed to. But the purpose of today's training is we're going to cover basically the proper way to conduct defensive operations. Normally, I see people just start throwing up trenches everywhere, and it looks ugly, and it serves its purpose, but at the same time, it's not exactly efficient. For example, I'll see people show up one trench, or throw up one trench, and then there'll be 4 people behind that one trench. I don't think I need, well actually, since we have new people. So, the negatives for that, obviously, one shot from any high explosive weapon, whether it be a tank, a frickin' automatic grenade launcher, RPG, anything, it's gonna take you all out. And that's why, normally, I'll encourage my squads to either dig single or 2-man trenches, and then spread out. Of course, 2-man trenches for buddy teams, and then 1-man trenches, just, if you're close enough, you can still function as a buddy team. So to begin with, we'll go over here. Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. Takes forever. Alright, while I'm doing this, and if somebody could start building the other trenches to the side. So, just don't dig 2 of the same, or try not to.
Alright, digging right here.
Alright, one thing that people sometimes forget is that you can cancel the digging in the middle of it if you hit escape. So
Oh,
if you're
you
under
can hit
fire,
the Windows key and it'll stop.
sorry, Sergeant.
You can hit the Windows key and it'll stop too.
Also, yes. I usually just hit escape because it's already there and just do it real quick. Alright, so regroup on me in the middle. I don't know why people can't hear me.
Bravo, regroup.
Do you want Mike to regroup or finish digging this trench?
I'm gonna finish that. That's the fucking big ass one. Alright, so it looks like most people dug the singles, which doesn't exactly serve my purpose, but because we have enough. So obviously the single trench is intended for one person. You can fit 2 people in there. not comfortably, obviously, and usually only one person can fire forward. When I was an automatic rifleman, this was my preferred trench, because it protects your flanks and gives you a nice little lip at the front to set up your bipod. Which, if you're in a defensive position, normally you're going to be covering a set sector. So if you put this trench facing that sector and set up your bipod, which eliminates all recoil, you're pretty much the deadliest motherfucker in that area at that point. Now, to the left, that one, that is a short trench. That is, when I've seen it used by one person. 2 people, again, can use it, and that one is more focused towards using for 2 people, because they can both face front or 45 degrees off and still have a good degree of cover. To the left of that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Perrin, but that's the giant trench.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Here, I'll pop
So
down
that-
a big one real quick.
Thank you, Sergeant Eckford. So this one, obviously, is fucking huge. Fully intended for a full fire team, or even up to 6 people, I can see behind this one. Again, it does provide cover, but I would prefer you guys to work in teams or singles. Because, again, if somebody manages to get 1 RPG or 1 tank shell or whatever over this or behind it, everyone behind this is fucked. Because the way shrapnel works is it's just no fucking rebound off that and back into you. At least with a single trench, you have it on the sides. So if there's, so for a great example is that the main reason I love the single trench is that, in my experience, a mortar shell landed pretty much where Sergeant Langford was just now, and I survived it because I had cover to my side. That is why I like those. The short trench, not as much, but again, that's intended for 2 people. Now, the one Sergeant Langford just dug is the big, quote-unquote, big trench. That is intended, again, for a fire team. Any more than a fire team, it starts getting real fucking crowded. And again, just like the giant trench, the same issues apply. It doesn't really have good protection to the flanks, and the amount of people behind it is, the risk-reward is great. You have a lot of fire you can bring to bear, but you also have all your chickens basically in one grouping, or all your eggs in one nest. Alright, so another thing that people forget is that you can remove trenches. It is very simple. You just walk to itself or interact on it and then remove the trench. Which is
Don't
what,
you dare remove my trench.
well, we're going to remove all of these right now because we're going to go in the next phase. Yes.
Camouflage.
Oh yeah, you can put shrubs and shit on it.
I hardly call it camouflage, but okay.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even bring that up. Fuck that camouflage, it's almost useless.
It should also be noted that whenever you cancel digging a trench, you can continue digging the trench by interacting with it.
Yes, you Sergeant Langford. Alright. So as Special Sergeant sort of commented on, if you didn't hear, you can put quote-unquote concealment on these. But as Special Sergeant also saw, all it does for the small trench is put 2 bushes right next to you, and all that does, in my opinion, is limit your vision. If we're set up in a defensive position, odds are the enemy's already going to know where we are, approximately, so I just don't see a point to it. And with the bigger trenches, it becomes even less useful, because it literally just, I think, throws a tarp over some of them. But anyway, so for the purposes of this next part, we're going to be defending facing that direction, so north-northeast.
Got a question.
Private?
Is there a way for 2 people to work on the same trench, like digging it faster?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I tried it once, but that was a few patches ago. I'm not sure if they changed it. I doubt they have.
Try right now.
Yeah, we can. Go ahead and start digging one specialist.
There we go. And, I'll just start with some. Oh, you're in my way. There we go.
No, I can only place camouflage.
Alright.
Which makes even less sense.
Here, I dig, you cover it.
Alright. So anyway, as I was saying, for the purpose of this, we're going to be defending that way. And basically what I'm going to show you all now is approximate what I want it to look like. And the guidance on this is basically mutual support. So if we use the two-man trenches, you're going to have them spaced out. You're not going to have them right next to each other, obviously. If you use the one-man trenches, again, you're going to have them spaced out. But at the same time, you're going to be covering different sectors. So for the purposes of this, Private Cole, I want you to put a... Oh, sorry, hold on, Starlink, go ahead.
Whenever... So this is a real army here that I'm talking, at least. Whenever you're setting up a defensive mission, like we're about to be doing, it's generally the fire team leader's job to designate sectors of fire for his fire team. So he can ensure that his fire team is making the most of what fields of fire they have and what weapons they have at their disposal. And then they report what they're setting up to the squad leader, and then he can make adjustments from there.
Yes. It does, I mean, it'll work a little bit different, just because normally when we get to a position, I'll be like, alright, Bravo take south, Alpha take southwest. But then, yes, the team leaders, it's up to you two where to place your individual people, or buddy teams if you decide to do that. I leave that completely up to your discretion based on terrain, what we're facing. Like tonight, if you're the op board or the Warno, we're likely to be facing armor. That's why I keep hitting on those big trenches being pretty much death traps. But anyway, but for this one, we're just gonna walk through it slowly. That way, y'all can get sort of a feel for it. For example, Bravo has 3 people right now. That's always possible. So, a 1 and a 2-man might be the best thing.
Well, Bravo's 2. Alpha's
I'm sorry, Alpha. My bad. Alright, so Private Cole, go ahead and place your trench right here, facing 325, right down in that draw.
Sergeant.
Sergeant Langford and Specialist Hudson, go ahead and place a 2-man right here, facing 347.
Roger. Alright, I got you covered, Hudson.
And then for the purposes of this, Private Parent, do you mind stepping in and being the 3-man with Bravo?
That's fine.
Okay. And then Private Vincent, have your gun. I want you to dig a trench right here, facing basically 285. And then Private Parent Specialist Gillen, dig a 2-man right here, facing 317.
You got it, Perrin?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
I had a rock on my boot.
That works though. Yeah, that works. In fact, now that I see the 2 people, I like it. So yeah, screw that short trench. I never liked it anyway. Once you're done with the trench, regroup in the center.
When you're done with your trenches, regroup on the squad lead.
Now that I see it, with 2 people, use the big trench for 2 people, because this little trench, yeah,
It's way too crowded.
bad. But we can leave it for now. Just when we're facing in an operation, be ready to use it. Now, I did do one thing a little contrary to what I would normally do. I put a saw in the center, facing basically where we know the attack's coming from. Normally, fire team leaders, I'm not going to say do it every time, but I encourage you to place the saw on the flanks. That way that they can scan out to the left and right, and then if need be, they can put interlocking fire into the center. However, they can still do that here with where they're likely to be coming from. Now you notice that I did not build a trench. This doesn't really apply to you all, but basically, in my mind, Mike might need a trench, but I'm going to be running around making sure everything's good. So if you see me pop up in your trench, don't be like, shocked. Anyway, for the benefits of this, speaking of which, can anybody actually tell me what type of defensive position this would be? As far as like hasty...
Hasty. 100% hasty.
Yeah. So, Starling, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't have the actual manual, but hasty defense is basically anything you throw up, i.e. hastily, like dirt,
Basically.
trees.
Generally, so about maybe 25, 30 meters away from these trenches, if you have it available, you'll be setting up sea wire towards the enemy, so they cannot approach your trenches directly. They have to go around them. Otherwise, they have to go straight through it, and that's generally not advisable because sea wire, if you go through it, will fuck you up.
It'll tickle.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
it'll tickle a lot. But it's not haste. It's deliberate. Fortifications, pesco barriers.
Basically the shit around our airfield.
Yeah, basically anything that will 100% stop a bullet every time.
And on top of all that, now either a hasty or a deliberate can be part of a defense in depth, which is one of my favorite things in anywhere. So defense in depth, if we did it correctly, so we would have these line of trenches, and then we would have another line of trenches further back. And the point of a defense in depth is basically once we bleed the enemy enough here, we fall back to that next line and bleed them again until they basically fall back.
Tactical withdrawals.
Yes. Now that's not the same as a break contact. So if we're performing a defense in depth, normally if one fire team is going to hold while the second one falls back to the next point in the line, and then they'll cover while the covering team withdraws. We're not going to do that here because we only have 6 people, 7 if you count myself. And normally if we do that in operation, I would hope that it's multiple squads doing it. Because the amount of cover needed for that kind of movement is very, very high. So, as I said, I wasn't going to go too in-depth on this today, but I just want to cover the basics on doing this. So I don't want to see tonight 3 trenches all next to each other with 7 people behind them. Spread it out, spread out your sectors so you can get maximum coverage. All understood?
Confirm.
I got a comment on this one.
Go ahead, Sergeant. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get some stuff ready.
Alright, so while this is for demonstration purposes, so you can see all these trenches in one spot, I would prefer to see them a little bit more spread out, generally because, I mean, with fortified positions like this, you can cover a lot more space and still have a solid cover. The more space that a squad can take up and still be coherent and able to cover each other, the better. So let's say a fucking arty round came in, it wouldn't wax the whole squad in one round. So just think about that a little bit whenever you're setting up your defenses. Spread them out a little bit, and try to keep in coherency with each other.
You're 100% correct, by the way, Sergeant. This was purely for demonstration.
As I say, we're still 2 mortars to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if
normally
I
we'd
see
be
this
spread out
shit,
all over this hill because we'd have 8 people for
Right
different
here, take
areas.
All of Bravo.
yeah, if I see trenches like this close together, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, and you're gonna move them.
I like to put up the singles and then run the large between them, so that way you have a wall so you can run from one to the other.
Yeah.
They'll be covered.
That's
not
also
a
a
bad idea.
possibility. If we're close enough, and if we have enough time to prepare that kind of stuff. Because like you said, like we've seen, the large trenches take time to build, the singles aren't as much.
Yeah, so if everybody pops a single, and then you just start connecting them with others while you have time. That way you can run from one to the other and check on people without being open. Especially for a mic.
Alright. So gentlemen, go ahead and reassume your
Yeah.
positions, and I won't even sugarcoat. We'll shoot some shit before we close this out.
Alright, get defensive.
Going, Hudson.
I'm good.
Oh, you need that?
Yeah, sorry, but my sister needed something.
Oh, you good, man? I just want to make sure you were okay. Go and get back.
Last chance, earplug check.
Airplane check.
Your plugs in.
You're locked and loaded, Vincent.
Roger. Contacts to the
Alpha has contact up to 006 with my pod. We got IDF landed about 25 meters from our pods.
We got contacts 260.
Mike's back up. Elf, do a seek. Stepping up. I need a mic on my pods. As soon as I get my leg, I'll be your way. Hey, Bravo. South being you lay down some more fire to our left while the mic comes over. Even if you don't see him, get your ass up and start shooting.
All copies. Oh, I should fire to the left, cover the mic for Alpha.
I'll shift my fire over to your second one. Moving Alpha.
I'm bandaging right now.
Alpha back up. Bravo this Alpha, what's your status?
Roll screen.
Alright, be advised, Alpha's a little bit hurt. Alpha's green.
Contact 254.
What time's DMR down to the north? Break, be advised. Technical rolling down the road to the break. 9. Disregard.
Technical disregard.
Look at it.
I can't see anything over there.
Bravo, Bravo. We got some DMR coming in over to the west.
Oh fuck. Hey, this is Alpha.
There's a
fucking
guy
chip.
Go DMR over to the west.
Going back now.
Hey, Bravo, I need you to cover that sector. We're getting routes
Where's
coming.
that coming from?
Oh, is that west?
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Anybody have thermals that we could put out there?
Maybe Caldwell. That's all.
I'm coming back.
Opposite contact to the north. Yeah, I still got routes.
Alpha interrogative. Where are those rounds coming from? North, you said?
Yeah, straight north in those reeds. Hudson, if you could get a fucking 40 mic in there, that'd be awesome.
I'm gonna start lining up as
Right in
well.
those reeds.
I'm dropping RPG here.
They are reloading.
Reloading.
Yeah, but the keep an eye out to our left.
Bravo, this Alpha, we need suppressive fire over to the north.
Bravo
We got
covers.
a fucking bar pinning down radar.
Suppressive fire to the north.
I got ears on the Vic.
I got
Sounds
audible,
like
another
it's
Vic.
to our west.
Yeah, straight west. Break, BAP, straight west.
BAP straight west.
I see it out there. Don't have anything to shoot. Anybody have
Be advised, Alpha has no AT.
Bravo has no AT either.
Pop smoke, pop smoke.
Pop smoke.
shooting at me?
Pop smoke as well. We need as much out here. Actually,
Bravo, pop smoke.
I got one good
Disengage over to the east, we got you covered.
This guy's one of these.
Go back. Go back. Go back.
Fall back east.
Bravo, let us know when you're set.
Roger.
Get over this little defilade here. It should be far enough. We're out of sight.
Bravo set. Move Alpha.
Alpha's moving.
He's Russian.
No fuck is Russian.
No, it's rushing us. You dumb shit.
Alpha's gonna continue moving out to the reeds, over to the southeast.
Alpha Bravo, disregard. Regroup on the flagpole.
Flagpole.
Mike, can you patch me up while I'm cleaning all this up? Because
Gotcha.
I got a little overzealous, I think, with some of my shots.
For some reason, like, my audio just
Alright, everybody check
completely
yourself.
shut out.
Off screen.
So, that was flawless. But I have to knock you off for one thing per training. So what was the last thing I said before we left the base?
Were we all set?
Yep.
Guess who
Wait.
did a pack any AT?
Yep.
Any of us.
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, none of us are riflemen.
Well, fuck you, Mike.
Yeah, you're fucking useless to us.
I can't even carry a grenade.
It doesn't matter if none of you are riflemen. Both grenadiers and team leaders can take AT
Yep.
if there's no riflemen.
I didn't even think about it.
Like I said, I gotta knock you off for one thing per training.
been nice to have thermals too. We could find that DMR.
Yeah, they just.
I never
hide in the
placed a
reeds.
DMR, so I don't even know.
Oh, they had us pegged. Whoever it was.
Hey, it was single shot, accurate fire.
Yep.
I don't. I've noticed that when you do just small squad trainings, the AI, of course, becomes much better. So I like that though, because that means that you practice against harder enemies than what you'll actually face.
Train like you fight.
Yeah, look at it that way. But anyway, like I said, other than that, Alpha, you got sort of fucked from the flank. I fully didn't intend those guys to focus you like that, but they saw targets and I guess they decided to light you and Hudson up.
Yeah, that western flank, we were wide open to that.
And again, that sort of
easily.
Yeah, that sort of goes down to just bad luck and the fact that I had y'all facing one direction. Normally, we'd be around the hill, not just, on the side of it facing one spot.
Yeah, we had a tree that was completely covering all those guys.
Yeah, I liked that. But, you guys did very well. I sent, I think, 5 or 6 squads at you, and you pretty much wiped them out. Hudson, you with that 40 Mike infuriated me. Because twice you just wiped out half a squad. Please do that tonight. Because that is exactly what needs to happen in an operation. If you see a grouped enemies, you need to just unload with 40 Mikes.
Yeah, Hudson.
He's the best grenadier around.
Saw's
So
good
is there
job.
a medal for him, or?
Unfortunately, no.
I don't need a medal.
Vincent, you're new, so I pressured you a bit. I sent 2 full squads at your side. And you did very well. For
Thank you, Sergeant.
basically being new to the job. Cole, you sucked. I sent like half a freaking platoon at yours, and Hudson took them all out. So.
Well, he can't
Are you
really
saying I
suck
suck?
if he can't even engage them.
First of all, I was calling in and shit, alright? You know I did great as 2SC, so that has to, rebuttal me a little
You did
bit.
call in. I liked that when Langford and Hudson went down. You stepped up.
Hudson wouldn't
he was
even use
fucking
40
giving
Mike if I
orders.
didn't tell him to.
He was giving
No, I was
fire
giving it
orders to
well
Bravo.
before you told me
All
to.
right. But yeah, like I said, good job all around. I'm impressed. I think we'll do very well tonight. Fire team leaders, any comments, questions?
Nothing from my side.
Corporal Gillen?
I had nothing.
Private Perrin? Okay. Cool. So, again, 8 Eastern tonight, guys. Be on an hour early for the briefing, because I think that's what we're back to. But, other than that, I probably will run at least one WLC here in a little bit. Probably another 20 minutes. Enough time for me to grab something to drink and pull up the document.
So basically, Vincent, Cole, you stick around for that.
I'm not gonna force you guys, but I do, because both of you are still PV2s, you don't actually need WLCs until you move into a fire team leader billet, and you don't need ALCs until you become a squad leader, so. But it's better to get them done quickly, so I'll encourage it, but I'm not gonna knock you guys for not being there if you have other things to do. But, as far as this training though, that is it. So I will see you guys later for the op. Hope you all are there. It's gonna be a good one.
Hope you get a mic for the op.
Say what?
I said I hope you find a mic for the op.
Oh, we'll have
They
Arch.
were short-handed on mics yesterday.
I think Arch will be here. Yeah,
Saturday parent. There's never people on Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. So I gotta restart the server, so everybody out.
GTFO.
How are we gonna do the classes?
Sit in the channel and do them.
Well, I was a short training. All the way back
Yeah, all of
from
the
there was
DLCs,
8.
except
LCs
for...
are-
Should have recorded that.
Yeah, that was really good training.
I streamed it.